All right, let's get the music going on here. We're doing a vertical live stream here on YouTube, guys. And TikTok is getting the horizontal live stream for today. Doing something different today, guys. Bitcoin currently trading at 90,290 bucks here. Let's see. Let's get into the. I want to get into the weekly time frame. We're going to start on the weekly time frame. And let me go ahead and turn the music down. I was waiting for a few more people to join, but I guess I can turn the music down now and we can get started right now. All right. So I'm just waiting to hear from my TikTok guys if the music a little bit too loud or not. You guys are getting the music is again the horizontal live stream today for TikTok. Let's see. This is what it looks like here. This is my TikTok. There you guys can see me here. My YouTube guys, you can see me. I'm doing a live stream here on TikTok with a TikTok live studio here. And my TikTok guys are getting the horizontal live stream right now, but my YouTube guys are getting the vertical live stream for today. All right, so that's the setup for today. Let me just check to make sure things look good on my end, that I got the volume turned up and everything, that we're not having any volume or music issues here. Just give me a second here, guys. All right, that's what it looks like. All right. Second hand, guys. All right, that's what I look like. All right, turn the volume off here. All right, here we go. All right, so I think I heard myself. We can get started here. All right, so we're looking at the price of Bitcoin at $90,292 right now. I'm starting off on the weekly chart here because you know, the weekly candle will close on Sunday here in about 2 days and 3 hours. And I want to get started with the higher time frames before we work on the lower time frames here on Bitcoin, just to get a bigger picture, idea, perspective on what's really going on out there for Bitcoin. As you can see with the weekly time frame here, you know, Bitcoin seen its best days in October, obviously at $125,000, $126,000, and we came down to the 50 simple moving average on the weekly time frame here, where Bitcoin was able to catch some support off this level around the $83,000, $80,000 level here, and we've been staying above this 50 moving average, which is good to see because we need that, right? We need that. We do not want to lose this 50 simple moving average. This simple moving average is at 86K. If we were to lose that, then that's when you start hearing people talking about Bitcoin going back to like 74K, which we saw back in April of last year. But there's also a possibility that it might not catch some support until it comes to the 100 moving average, which is at 68K. And then there's also the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame at 57K. And this is where you might hear some people saying that Bitcoin can go down to 68 or 57K all over again. It would probably be because of these moving averages that could provide support at that area. But also, if I turn on the VRVP indicator, which I'm going to do right now, there is some high volume nodes here at 68K. All right, so if we're going to get really bearish here on Bitcoin, then, you know, 68K is an area to maybe try to put in some bids in to try and buy some cheap, relatively cheap Bitcoin. Cheaper than buying it at 90K, I'll tell you that. But then also there's some high volume here, right, in the 50K area, around like $57,000, which is where this 200 simple moving average is at. And has Bitcoin actually come down to the simple moving average on the weekly time frame? Yeah, it has, but that was like during like 2023, during like the bear market of 2022 and 2023 here. Okay, so it is possible for Bitcoin to go back that down to that level, to the 200 moving average. Just keep that in mind. Okay. We don't want to see that. We want to see Bitcoin continue to maintain this 50 simple moving average. So that's why I think, it's very crucial for Bitcoin to start catching some bids and get some green candles right now, because you're playing with danger of going into a bear market if you go below this green line here, this 86K area where the 50 simple moving average is at for the weekly time frame. Now let's get into looking at the momentum indicators here, so we can figure out, does Bitcoin have the momentum to go to higher prices here or not? Okay. So we are working with the weekly time frame here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put on the MACD and the market cipher B indicator, so you guys can see what Bitcoin is doing right now. And right now, Bitcoin, the selling pressure is still dying down here on the weekly time frame. So that's good to see. We need to see that. If we're going to start going up to higher prices, we need to continue seeing selling pressure die off. Now, what I'm worried about is if selling pressure dies off, only for it to start increasing again. This is not an end-all, be-all indicator here. There's still a possibility that Bitcoin could give us a fake out where we see selling pressure start increasing again. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where we've seen that before on the weekly time frame. We have seen something like this in 2022 and 2021, where selling pressure was dying off. Going into like 2022, March of 2022, April 2022, and then we actually did get a little bit of green, okay, on the weekly time frame, only for then selling pressure to start increasing again. And then, of course, we got the FTX bankruptcy in November of 2022 and all that stuff, right? So that we don't want to see, okay? So we'll see how we go forward in the next few weeks. I still think we could rally up to higher prices here on Bitcoin as long as the selling pressure keeps dying down. However, anything can change. It could change on a dime. Going into like next week, we might see selling pressure start increasing. I'm going to be paying attention. If selling pressure starts increasing on Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame, then that's a cue for us to get out. All right, to get out, sell what you can, and maybe you could buy back in again at lower prices. All right, but I like what I'm seeing here. This is the start of something good here for Bitcoin, okay, on the weekly time frame. And then going on to market cipher B, we actually did get a green buy dot here on the last week of December. And of course, we all had a good week of January, right? The first week of January was pretty good. And I think that's mainly because of what happened here with the green buy dot here. Momentum's going up, but I want to see money flow start curving back up. Money flow still seems pretty thick in the red right now. I want to see money flow get back in the green like we saw, in June and July of 2025, when Bitcoin was going up to like 124K. We need to see that. We need to see that. Now going into like a little bit smaller time frame, kind of like almost similar though, is the 5-day time frame here. On the 5-day time frame, you do see selling pressure is decreasing, and then we also got the potential of a MACD crossover to the upside here on Bitcoin. That would be really great to see, and if we see that, then you'll start seeing some green candles showing up here on the MACD on the 5-day chart for Bitcoin. You do something like that, and then, we haven't seen the green since April of last year. Of 2025, where Bitcoin started charging back up from 70K all the way up back to like 90 and 100K all over again. So that would be very nice to see if we can get that, but we want to see follow through where we get some green candles. If it's going to be weak and we only get like a tiny small green candles here, I'm going to be paying attention to that, because that could mean that the move is not strong enough to go to higher prices, and we might be liable to just roll over and go down to lower prices again. So I am paying attention to the 5-day MACD chart as well on Bitcoin. And then here on market cipher B, money flow is curving up. This is what I want to see on the weekly time frame. We're not getting that just yet, but I'm seeing that money flow is curving up to the upside here on the 5-day chart. And you got a green buy dot here on the last week of December. So this is very good to see. Now, what I would be worried about with Bitcoin is if we see a red sell dot come out of nowhere, okay, on the 5-day chart. That is not good. That could be signifying that we might be putting in a lower high here on Bitcoin, And then we might what? Start going down towards lower lows maybe. I don't want to see that, but I am liking what I'm seeing. So I'm liking what I'm seeing in the weekly chart, and I'm liking what I'm seeing on the 5-day chart. We're just moving on down from time frame to time frame here, guys, because I want to show you why I'm thinking that the high time frames are showing that Bitcoin can go to higher prices, even though we're struggling right now today. I think high time frames are still showing that we're good on Bitcoin. Okay, it's just that for some reason Bitcoin's just not catching any bids today. All right. Now, Bitcoin right now at 90,292 on a 3-day time frame, we do see that money flow is inching towards going into the green. That is good. That would be good to see, but we haven't had that just yet. And then here on the MACD, we did see actually green candles showing up. So this was good to see. You got that MACD crossover towards the end of December here. And you got that, selling pressure dying off and turning into buying pressure. So that is good to see. Now let's move on to the normal time frames that everybody pays attention to, which is like the daily time frame here for Bitcoin. And on the daily time frame, this is what is confusing, right? The high time frames, like the weekly, the 5-day, and the 3-day chart, are showing really positive things here on the MACD. But on the daily chart here for Bitcoin, we actually got buying pressure dying down here. That is no bueno, in my opinion, okay? We want to continue seeing increasing green. We're seeing actually light green showing up, showing buying pressure dying down. And we're getting this blue moving average curving down. Now, this could end up being a fake out, and the blue line starts curving up, and we start getting increasing buying pressure. But we need to see that now or tomorrow or sooner rather than later. All right, I'll give it them by Monday, okay? If we don't see buying pressure increasing in the next few days here, going into this weekend, and we start seeing buying pressure actually continue going down, then guess what? That buying pressure that's continued to going down to lower levels is going to end up causing selling pressure to show up again. And yeah, you're probably going to see 80K Bitcoin again, and maybe even possibly 70K Bitcoin, depending upon what's going on. So I think this weekend is very crucial. If we don't start catching the bids on this weekend, it could be game over on this January rally that looked like it was just getting started, but it could be game over just from what I'm seeing with the MACD. So I'm a little bit worried about the MACD on the daily time frame. And then here on the market cipher B, I am also worried about this red sell dot that came in on Wednesday, right? A couple of days ago on January 7th. Momentum is starting to go down. And if this momentum continues to go down, then the money flow will actually go down. Money flow is in the green, but money flow could start decreasing and going into the red. And then, yeah, then it's time to get out of Bitcoin and crypto and, whatever. I think now, guys, is a time to move your stop losses up to as high as you possibly want them to go without getting stopped out. And then from there, we're on lower high watch right now because this could potentially be a lower high here on Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin go up to $95,000 here on January 5th, at least on Binance Exchange here. But that's a lower high compared to what we saw here in December when Bitcoin was at $99,000. And that right there is also another lower high compared to what Bitcoin did here in November when it was at $107,000. So we're on lower high watch. We need Bitcoin to start catching those bids and start making higher highs again, okay? In order for us to actually make a bullish case here. Because if not, then, this could end up being a lower high. And then, if you talk to the bears out there, they're going to tell you that this is a bear flag. It might be a long, extended bear flag, but they might be right where, this could break down the lower prices here. And that was your lower high. And then we go down to lower lows. And if we go down to lower lows, how much lower could Bitcoin go? Once I, finish this analysis, I'll get into your requests here, guys. But how much lower could Bitcoin actually go if we actually do go to lower lows here? I'm going to turn that VRVP indicator one more time, and I'm going to try to zoom out. This is the VRVP indicator off to the right here. And there is high volume here at 84K. That's an important level to hold. I know we came down to 80K in November, but I think 84K is the more important level to watch. If we lose 84K, then, yeah, it starts to get really bad out there. And we don't have another a significant high volume node until we get down to like 68, 69K, which is like the previous all-time high from the previous cycle. So that is what I see here for Bitcoin. Let me catch up on the chat here, see what you guys are saying here on TikTok. Low key artist says, is altcoin season going to happen? It didn't happen last year. A lot of people had their hopes up. We had selective altcoins going. Did its new all-time high in like January of last year, and XRP made a new all-time high in like July or something, close to a new all-time high if it wasn't a new all-time high. And then we had Ethereum make a new all-time high, ever so barely and slightly, at $4,900 in what was it, August, I believe. And yeah, so we had selective altcoin season here, but we didn't really have an altcoin season last year. I think that threw people off because they were expecting some more euphoria, and we just didn't get that. I think what really screwed up altcoin season for last year, and possibly it could be screwing up things going into this year, is that Trump coin came out and sucked up the liquidity. A lot of people sold all their altcoins. They sold their Cardano. They sold their XRP. Well, maybe they didn't sell their XRP, because I know XRP armies, they never sell. But they sold their Ethereum and their Solana to get into Trump coin. And then Melania coin came out right away and took more liquidity out. And then those coins dumped on everybody, and everybody lost all their money in January of last year. And then altcoins were never the same after January of last year. Some of them were still all right, like Solana and XRP and Ethereum, but the other ones, that was a big death blow to them. All right, I see Laureen's in the chat. Good to see you, Laureen. Laureen says, can I check Pengu? I could go ahead and do that. I just got to grab something real quick, guys. I just want to be able to monitor my YouTube live stream here. I want to make sure that the music sounds good and that I actually turn the mic up. And then I can also monitor the chat on YouTube as well. I got to do that. So I usually do that with my tablet here. Let's see. All right, so I see Bitcoin kind of climbing up right now. Let me go ahead and just turn on YouTube right now real quick here. I will look at Pengu. I got you, Lorraine. I just doing things differently today. It's kind of like throwing me off a little bit. All right, so I can actually hear I can hear myself here. And all right, I see that Kevin Hawthorne's in the chat, and I see OG Bobin. Did I say that right? I see he's in the chat as well. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can get things moving along here. So we got to look at Pengu as a request here. And do you guys have any other requests? Let me try to catch up on TikTok here. All right. So, yeah, we can see Lorraine said Pengu. And then we said, is altcoin season happening? It doesn't look like it to me. It's been a problem for about a year now. And then Gamer says, Vu Manchu? What is Vu Manchu? Is that a crypto? You guys are always coming up with these crazy names here for cryptos. Let's see. I think that's it for requests for now. Oh, and Lorraine did say hi. Hello, Lorraine. Hello. Good to see you. How you like the live stream on TikTok in this format here? Just give me your thoughts and opinions on the live stream. Everything working out smoothly? Is the music good? Is it too loud? I need some feedback here, Lorraine. Brian says 100K. Is that with a question mark? We got to see Bitcoin start catching those bids right now, sooner rather than later. I think this weekend is very crucial. We are actually getting for Bitcoin on the weekly time frame here. We are actually getting a red candle here. That's no bueno. We had one green candle, got everybody excited here last week, and now we're getting a red candle here. We opened this week here at 91,580. We're currently trading at 90,400. We're down $1,000. We want to see another green candle here to get people more excited about Bitcoin and crypto. Because I'll tell you what, they're not going to be excited if we only get one green candle out of the last 3 or 4 candles here. That's not good. We got to get another green candle here. All right. So there you go. Let's look at Pudgy Penguins for Lorraine here. And we're currently looking at Pudgy Penguins, currently trading at 0.012 pennies. Let me get back into the daily chart here. So Pudgy Penguins had a brutal 2025. I mean, well, it had a very interesting 2025. It went up during the beginning of the year, only for it to then come and do a round trip back to the same prices that it was at back in early of 2025. So that's where we're at here with Pudgy Penguins here. Pudgy Penguins on the daily time frame, you're above the 21 EMA. That's a start to trying to be a little bit bullish here. If Pudgy Penguins continues to be bullish, I'm expecting some resistance here at the penny and a half, where that 50 moving average is sitting at on the daily time frame here. But also, a penny and a half is at the same level where people were buying here in November, where it was trading sideways. So I think that is a level where these people here are going to probably try to get out of Pudgy Penguins if they're not full, believers and convinced that Pudgy Penguins is going to go to higher prices here. So I think penny and a half is a good target for Pudgy Penguins to the upside here. Let me go ahead and throw in the VRVP indicator on, see what that has to say. And there is a slightly high volume node here at a penny and a half. So that's why you should probably be thinking about clicking the sell button on Pudgy Penguins when it does get up to a penny and a half. You do got some support here on the POC, the point of control at 0.0115 pennies here. So if you do come down, that might be an area where if you're day trading it, you might want to take a shot at going for a long at that area. And then put your stop loss really tight, maybe at like a penny or 0.0105 pennies maybe. Because if we can launch off and get some support over here, then we could probably start heading to that penny and a half level. And there you go on the volume profile indicator here. You got some high volume here, about a penny and a half, roughly in this area. So that is why I still think a penny and a half is your upside target. Downside, if we lose this POC, then we'll probably come down to the 21 EMA. That's sitting at roughly 1 penny. Okay, and there's a little bit of high volume there. If you lose that, okay, then there's also some more high volume here at just under a penny at 0.0090 pennies. And then you got the value area low at basically 0.0083 pennies here, okay? So those are the areas to be looking for Pudgy Penguins. All right, we got OG Bobin saying, you're from Sweden. Barb Marley is inspiration. And then Jay's in the chat here, says, yo, Dabion, APLD. Okay, so we got a request for APLD. I'm assuming that's a stock, right? Because you always would be requesting stocks on these live streams here. Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I can look at APLD for you. I appreciate you coming in. It seems like you might be in a rush here. There was only like another potential request here. I'm not even sure if Vumanchu. I don't even know what that thing is, but I will look at that one for you since it seems like you're in a time crunch. Appreciate you coming into the live stream here. Don't forget to smash that like button. Is APLD, is that Applied Digital Corporation on the NASDAQ? And I think that's the one that you're looking for, right? Okay, it is. All right, so we got APLD on the daily time frame here using the VRVP indicator here. This thing looks very bullish. Unlike a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, this is very bullish because you're above. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. But you're above the 200-day, you're above the 100-day, you're above the 50-day, and you're above the 21 EMA. This is extremely bullish to see. But it could mean that this thing might be due for a correction at some point here, right? Let's see what the momentum indicators are showing. Are we going to continue going up to higher prices here? Looking at the MACD. MACD looks fine. Buying pressure is steadily increasing. I mean, I wish I would see this here with Bitcoin and the crypto, but we're not getting that with crypto right now. You got your MACD crossover here to the upside on January 2nd, looks like it. And you got those green buying pressure candles showing up. So this thing looks like it could continue going up to higher prices. And then here on Market Cipher B, you got a green buy dot here that came in on January 2nd, and money flow going into the green around that time. And momentum is steadily increasing. Market Cipher B is showing that this thing could go up to higher prices if it wants to. And if it is going to go to higher prices, I mean, has it been this high before? I don't think it has. I'm just trying to zoom out here. This is like 2022 here. And then most recently here in 2025. You got a high here at 40 bucks. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna measure from this I'm gonna measure from this swing low to this swing high and come up with a Fibonacci here to figure out how high it could possibly go. All right. So if we're going to continue being bullish, this thing obviously could probably climb back to $40.29, which it did back in October of last year. But if it pushes past that level there and continues being bullish, there is a 1272 Fibonacci extension at $47.61. That's where I would try to take some profit on Applied Digital here if I can. And then you got a 1618 hanging out at $56.91. I think that is an ultimate take profit target if we actually get up there. That's going to be like almost like, what is that? Measuring from where we are right now to 56 bucks. That's about a 51% gain on that stock right there. That's pretty decent for a stock. You might be seeing that later on in 2026 here if this thing continues being bullish. But if we're not going to be bullish and if we're going to get a little bit of pullback from where we are right now, then there are some levels to look out for. You got the 618, which is a normal pullback level. You can probably see yourself coming down to like 30 bucks here before you start, catching some bids here. And let's see if the VRVP indicator agrees with that. Oh, it agrees with that totally. You got a value area high. This white line is hanging out at 30 bucks. So I think this thing could come down to 30 bucks, get some support, make a higher low, and then go to higher prices if it starts pulling back for any reason here. So that's your target to the downside is 30 bucks. Based on that, you got the value area high at that level, and then you got the golden pocket at that level as well. So that's your target. And it's also like a psychological number. I feel like a lot of people are going to just be like, oh, 30 bucks. I'm going to go buy some Applied Digital Corporation at that price. Jay says you got in at $29.95 with 18,000 shares, and you have 135 G in profits. That's awesome. Congratulations, Jay. Jay, have you joined the Discord? I do have a Meet Damien Discord. You can share your thoughts and opinions. I would like to get some more stock market guys in the Discord here. And that would be right over here on the Meet Damien Discord. We are talking about crypto, but I have asked people their opinions about stocks. I tried asking them about, like, does anybody think, like, the Russell 2000 is going to outperform, the other indices, like the NASDAQ and the S&P 500? And I don't really have many people talking about stocks. I have another guy here, I think trade stocks is like Tony, I think trade stocks, and Cameron as well. Cameron, he posted up this, right? He's up 1,600 bucks on his short here on Solana. But I'm trying to get some more stock market guys to show up. So if you can come on and join the Meet Damien Discord, if you go on to my page here, you should see the link to join the Meet Damien Discord is right here in the description to the channel. There it is. And we can talk more about stocks on the Discord if you want to let me know what stock you're getting into. That'd be great. That'd be great. Maybe I might come join you on some of these stock picks that you're in. Seems like you're doing all right with your stock picking, though. And same thing for my TikTok guys. You can come join the Meet Damien Discord. The link should be right over here on the bio. I know it might be hard for some of you guys to click the link because if you click the link, it actually takes you to the WEEX exchange. If you go on your computer, though, you should be able to get that link. Or if you just message me, you can just message me here on TikTok, and I can send you the link for Discord, so you can come join the Meet Damien Discord there. All right. And then also, since I got you guys here, I do have a Twitter. I have an X, right? If you want to come join me and message me here on Twitter or yeah, just go ahead and come find me here on X. My handle is MeetDamien21 right there. Okay. And we can stay in touch over here as well. I post up some funny videos if I can, and I also let you guys know when I go live on my live streams here. And, I share my thoughts and videos that I can when I get a chance. And then, what's going on in crypto with, Eric Trump getting involved in Bitcoin here. So all that good stuff is on the Meet Damien Twitter. All right, Jay, thank you. I look forward to seeing you on Discord. Appreciate that. Let me get back to the chat here on TikTok, see what you guys are saying now. Let's see. Mario wants to look at TARS AI. All right, we'll look at that. We got to look at Vominchu. I think that was a request that came in before that. But if I can't find Vuminchan or whatever it is, I'll go right to TARS AI. Let me just check to see if I make sure I got everybody. I don't want to make sure I didn't miss any requests here. Oh, we got a Trump. Trump is in the chat here on TikTok. He says, what do you think about MVO VRT? All right, so I might have to do that after. I might have to do that before TARS AI. But let me just write that down because that one did come in. I do first come, first serve here. MVO VRT. All right. And then let's see. Was that everything else? Brian is now asking about 70K for Bitcoin. And Lorraine says Bitcoin could be making a bear flag. Possibly. Lorraine, you're funny, Lorraine. We're doing a horizontal stream here on TikTok and a vertical stream here on YouTube. Mario says, pleasure to see Trump. Speaking about Trump, I thought we were going to see something about Trump tariffs. The Supreme Court is talking about Trump tariffs. They're doing a ruling on Trump tariffs, but they didn't actually make an opinion today. So they're kicking the can down the road on that one. But maybe we'll find out later on this month whether or not Trump's tariffs are going to be ruled illegal. However, I heard that the Trump administration just might try to change the language and not call them tariffs and just call them fees or import fees or something like that. Import-export fees. And then they'll get around and still be able to charge what they're charging. They're just going to call it fees instead of tariffs, is what I've heard. That's what I've heard and read. All right, let's see if we can find Vuminchan here. Yeah, I it's not even showing up here on TradingView. So I'm just going to skip over that potential request unless I get a ticker symbol. We got to look at NVO. NVO. And then you also asked for VRT. Well, let me do NVO first, and then I'll do TARS AI, and then we'll come back to VRT, okay? Since you pretty much made two requests there. NVO, Novo Nordisk. This is on the New York Stock Exchange. We are looking at Novo Nordisk, currently trading at $58.81. I got the VRVP indicator here. This is very interesting. You got a lot of gaps in the trading here. This thing, the trading volume is interesting. It's all over the place here on the daily chart. Why is that? Is this like a small cap? No, it's actually a large cap. It's like market cap of $255 billion. That's a large cap company. What does this do? I'm just for my own information. I'm curious. This is a global healthcare company which engages in the discovery, development, manufacturing of pharmaceutical products. Okay, so a pharmaceutical company. But like, why is there so many gaps on the chart? Very weird. Very weird. If I do the weekly time frame, it looks kind of normal with the weekly time frame here. I mean, it is a pharmaceutical company, but every day it's like it jumps up in price or it jumps down in price. It jumps up in price. It jumps down in price. Okay. Anyways, Novo. Currently, you hit the value area high on the VRVP indicator here. That value area high is sitting at about $58.68, and you also hit the 200-day moving average at $59.27. I would be looking to take some profits right now on Novo because I don't know if it's going to be able to sustain these price levels here. If it's not able to sustain these price levels here, you got the 100-day moving average at $56, but then you also got the 50-day moving average at $53, and you got a high volume node here at like 53, 54 bucks. So I think $53, $54 around this area is where Novo could come down to if it pulls back, right? And that's about like a 10% pullback from where we are right now, going down to 53 bucks. All right, I think this thing could pull back 10% on you. Get some support, maybe make a higher low, and then jump up to higher prices here. Okay. And then if it's not able to maintain that for some support, I mean, you do got the POC, this blue line. This is the highest volume node sitting at 48 bucks. So this thing could drop 10% or even 20%, make a higher low before it starts going up to higher prices again. All righty. But it looks like this stock has been in a downtrend ever since June of 2024. And I'm not quite sure why. Maybe you could tell me in the chat here, but it had a bad earnings report in June of 2024. Then it had a good earnings report. You see these E's on the bottom? Those are like earnings reports that got, green means that it beat the earnings. Red means that it missed its earnings. And you had a missed earnings report here recently where you were expecting about 76 cents per share, and you only got 69 cents per share. That was a downward surprise of about 9%. Revenue came in at 11.5 billion, but they were expecting 11.9 billion, so that's not good. So their earnings are kind of like all over the place, but they did have good earnings. Or earnings beat early in the year, though. Earlier in 2025. I don't know. This could, the way things are going with this stock, unless it gets above the 200-day moving average and stays above it, this red line here, I would expect this to get rejected again, come back down to that $53 level or the $48 level here one more time. We shall see, but yeah, it's got some work to do from what I'm seeing here. Okay. I didn't even get into momentum. What is momentum looking like? Are we gonna maintain this momentum here on the MACD? MACD is showing buying pressure is steadily increasing, and you don't see the blue line curving down. You don't see a MACD cross over to the downside. It could still go up. It could still go up. I didn't even look at the targets to the upside. I kind of gave you downside targets already, just because I'm worried about this 200-day moving average. But here on Market Cipher B, money flow is increasing. You did get a top signal here in December, and I'm pretty sure you're about to get another top signal. If you see a red sell dot coming in on this stock here anytime soon on Market Cipher B, I would take that as a hint to take some profits because, this thing could come down 10 or 20% from where it is right now. But do we have some targets to look for to the upside here? We got a high volume node above us at $69. Maybe this thing is going to climb up to $69 before it gets rejected, comes down, makes a higher low, and then goes to higher prices. So I would target, if this thing's going to stay bullish, you got some volume here at $64. So that could be an area to take some profits. But then anywhere between like $64 to $69, you got some high volume here to the upside. All right. We're now going to move on to TARS AI, and then we'll come and take a look at VRT. Oh, no. I did not want to do that. I clicked the wrong button there. All right, TARS AI. Let me just put crypto here because I know it's a crypto, but it's not showing up here. Maybe if I just type in TARS or TAR. Where are you, TARS AI? There you go, on MEXC exchange. Alrighty. So we see that TARS AI currently trading at just under 3 pennies here. I'm gonna get rid of the VRVP for now. We're just gonna stick to the moving averages for now. TARS AI caught the bids here on the beginning of January. That was good to see, but a lot of cryptos were catching the bids here. Seems like money just came into cryptocurrency space in the first week of January. Maybe the sellers were done selling, and I think some institutional investors saw that crypto got beat up, and they decided to put money to work in crypto, and that's why Bitcoin caught the bids, and so did crypto. And I think TARS AI is one of the benefactors of money flowing back into crypto again. Speaking about money flowing in, let's take a look at money flow here on Market Safer B. On the daily time frame, you got the green buy dot here on January 1st, and then you saw money flow going to the green here on TARS AI. I think you're safe for now on TARS AI until you see a red sell dot show up on the daily time frame here. If you do see a red sell dot, and last time we got a red sell dot was here on December 29th, but if you see a red sell dot come in, that's probably a good idea to take some profits and be on the lookout for TARS AI to go down to lower prices here, okay? But you don't have that yet. You're still good on TARS AI for now. That red sell dot could happen anytime, though. Could happen later on tonight, tomorrow, this weekend. But you're on lookout for that, because that could be the signal to take profit on whatever longs or spot positions you got on this. MACD looks fine. You got the buying pressure in here. Although buying pressure was starting to die down a little bit earlier this week on Wednesday and Thursday, you actually got a green candle, a dark green candle here, which is better than light green, because that means buying pressure is actually increasing here. So that is good to see here on TARS AI. Maybe TARS AI is going to try to go to higher prices here. Let's see. On the daily time frame here, you actually went up. You came close to this 50-day moving average, that green line at 0.032 pennies. You came up to 0.032 pennies. Just not quite on the green line there, but close enough. So you're getting a rejection. We're going to call this a rejection for now. But if you're not going to get rejected, if you're actually going to continue being bullish, you got the 100-day moving average at 4 cents, and you got the 200-day moving average at basically 5 cents. Those are your next targets using just the moving averages here. But if I turn on the VRVP indicator, let's see what the VRVP has to say. You got a point of control, pretty important. It's hanging out at 4 cents. I think 4 cents is where this thing is going to go up to. I mean, we're kind of at 3 cents right now, but 4 cents, I would expect that to be a good area to take profit, because you got the point of control there. You got the 100-day moving average is creeping down towards that area. And then you also got the value area high just above 4 cents at 0.043 pennies. So I would say 4 cents to 0.043. Once you see 4 hit on TARS AI, not financial advice, but I would be clicking the sell button. You don't have to sell everything, but I would sell something, because I'm expecting a lot of resistance at 4 cents here for TARS AI to the upside. Didn't really talk about downside targets here, but if TARS AI starts losing its momentum and going down to low prices, you do got a value area low sitting at 0.022 pennies. And then you also got the 21 EMA at 0.022 pennies. So I think 0.022 is where we come down, possibly make a higher low before we go up to higher prices again for TARS AI. All right, that's TARS AI. Let's go ahead and take a look at VRT now. And is that VRT the stock or VRT the crypto? Because we do have a crypto here for VRT. I'll give you a second to let me know here in the chat I believe this was from Trump. Whoever is Trump still in the chat here? Because we're trying to look at your asset here. VRT, is that a stock or a crypto? I'm trying to go back to see, make sure it was Trump that made that request. Man, I'm just trying to go back. It's kind of tough for me to scroll back in the chat. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Trump. Trump, are you still in the chat? Well, I'm going to assume because you requested a stock before that you want to look at another stock. So we're going to look at this as a stock here. But let me just read the other chats here. Porsche Taycan says first target 28 cents. I don't know what you're talking about. What asset are you talking about? Mario says you're a long way to go. Your average pay was 9 cents. That's good, I guess. All right. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. All right. So we'll look at VRT, the stock here. Unless you jump in the chat and tell me otherwise. We're looking at Vertiv Holdings here. Currently trading at $163.58 right now. And what do we got? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. We're just going to work with the moving averages. And this thing, it looks bullish. It would be more extremely bullish if it was above the 21 EMA. 21 EMA is above all the other moving averages here. But if the price was above the 21 EMA, I would say this thing is extremely bullish. Right now, it's just bullish. It's getting some support off the 50-day moving average, currently sitting at 161 bucks here. That's fine. However, you are making lower highs here on the daily time frame here. That's no bueno. That's not going to help you go to higher prices here if you're making lower highs. You are, however, making higher lows here. So you kind of got almost like a pennant starting to form here. People would say this is just bullish consolidation here. Let's get on to the VRVP indicator here. So the VRVP indicator is showing a value area high sitting at $169. I think that's going to be resistance because we're below it right now. But get past $169, and then there is still some more volume here at 175 and 183. But those are targets to be trying to take some profit on Vertiv Holdings here. If you're in it for a short-term profit taking here, I'd be looking for 175 and 183 to the upside here for Vertiv. Now, to the downside, if Vertiv loses this 50-day moving average, there's not that much protecting you here on the VRVP indicator. You got a gap in the VRVP. This thing won't show you support until you get down to at least 140 bucks here. And that's kind of like right where this 200-day moving average is sitting at 135. So I think if price was to come down, by the time it gets down there, this 200 moving average is creeping up, and they might meet each other at 140 bucks here. And that's probably going to be a good area to buy some relatively cheap Vertiv if you're trying to buy some cheap Vertiv here. All right, so I just gave you downside targets and upside targets on Vertiv. And you know what? I'll give you the momentum indicators here to see if it's going to continue going down or actually start going up here. On the momentum indicators you got on the daily time frame here, you got buying pressure coming down. So that's not good. And MACD looks like it's about to cross over to the downside here. So I think this thing wants to continue going down from what I'm seeing here. And then here on the market cyber B, you got a red sold dot that came in on yesterday. And money flow is curving down. Can you see that? Here in the green, you see the money flow is starting to go down. If it continues doing that, you're going to see lower prices here. So I think this stock here wants to continue going down, not up, unfortunately. And you got the 100-day moving average that provides support at 150 bucks, but then you also got the 200-day at 135. So I'd be looking to place some buy orders in at 150 and then see if I can get filled at 140 and 135, the way this thing is trending right now. All right, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the technical analysis. If you are, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel here. Meet Damien, a YouTube channel here is what you're watching right now. And try to get some more subscribers here if we can. Let's see. Did I get some new subscribers today? We started at 550. Oh, wow. 555. All right. Actually, you know what? I think, no, it was 555 earlier. Yeah, it was 554. So I actually did get a new subscriber today. Whoever you are, thank you for subscribing today. And then for my TikTok guys, don't forget to hit that follow button. You know, I'm here on TikTok. If you follow me, you'll see me show up on your For You page more often. And I got some good videos here on TikTok for you guys to watch. There's a video on the VRVP indicator here. It's got about 2,000 views. Even if you're a trader that's been trading for a while, I know there's some seasoned, experienced traders here that are like, yo, what is this VRVP indicator here? And this video is like a 16-minute video that tells you how I set it up and how I trade with it. Then I also got a Fibonacci video for those who are interested in using the Fibonacci indicator and how to trade with it. And then for the brand new guys here, I got a a video here that shows you how to read the candlestick chart, how to read the MACD and the stochastic RSI and the regular RSI. And these videos are all pinned to the top of my TikTok channel, so you see that. And then also on TikTok, you can see like me talking about the IWN Russell 2000. You see me talking about the Pump.Fun and price of silver. I do it all, you know, crypto and stocks and commodities. We talk about it all here on the Meet Damien channel here, okay? So yeah, there you go, guys. Don't forget to hit that follow and subscribe button. Appreciate that. I gotta let you guys know because I feel like some people are here just watching. They forget to hit the follow button and the subscribe. All right, we got Kitty Kush in the chat asking about BILI. Let me go see if there's any more requests out there. I'm gonna write that one down. Thank you for the requests, Kitty Kush. How you doing, Kitty Kush? What kind of assets are you getting into? Are you doing stocks, crypto? Looks like Bitcoin was having a hard time catching the bids today, where everything else was going up, including gold and silver and oil. Bitcoin's hanging at 90,400 right now. Let me check my TikTok chat, see what you guys are saying right now. All right, someone just joined from one of my posts here. Cool. Lauren, thank you for following me here, Lauren. Thank you. And let's see, anybody else? I appreciate the people that have followed that I didn't give shout outs to. I appreciate you guys following me here on TikTok. And I'm just trying to catch up on the chat, see if I missed any requests here. No, I think that's it for now. Yeah, but I think that's it for now. I'm just gonna probably I gotta look at the chat, but I don't want to. I could just leave this chat bubble right here. Okay. All right. Billy. We gotta look at Billy. BILI. And Kitty Kush says stocks to hold, crypto to short. Oh, that's the game plan, huh? Not too bad of a game plan. Were you able to short Bitcoin when it got up to like 94K? Because that was an interesting area to look for shorts. I tried doing that earlier this week myself. All right, Billy. And is Billy a crypto or a stock? Because I got Billy B Holdings. This looks like it's trading on NASDAQ, but let's see. Is there a Billy crypto? And that's BILI, right? Kitty Kush, could you just elaborate? Oh, it is a stock? All right, that's what I thought. Because I did see it show up as a stock. And it's trading, looks like it's trading on the NASDAQ right now. Billy. Is that how you pronounce it? Billy? All right. Billy currently trading at $29.17, up 1.8% today. We're on the daily time frame here. This thing is looking relatively bullish here. Had a little bit of a pullback from its highs here in October, and when it got up as high as like $32.50, that's okay. I can actually draw a Fibonacci to figure out where exactly it might go next after doing that. So I'm just going to draw from this swing high here to possibly this swing low down here at $21.50. And you can see that we're currently hanging out near the golden pocket at $28.69. We're like slightly above it right now. This thing actually did get its it pulled back pretty significantly actually to the 0.236 at $24.50. Like we were there towards the middle of December here at that level. But you can see, like, you know, whoever was using Fibonacci here, they identified that as a level, as that's where they wanted to buy for Billy here, and we actually got bounces off of there. We got like almost like a triple bottom here on Billy at that $24 level there. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So TA being respected as far as I see. And then also this, you know, for the guys who are using moving averages, the 100-day moving average was sitting there too, and they were getting some bounces off that 100-day moving average before they launched up here. So that's cool. TA being respected. It's not just astrology for for stock market crypto guys. If Billy continues going up to higher prices here, we'll see if we get challenged that $32.50 level that we did in October. But if we can get past that level, there is a 1272 Fib extension to the upside at $35.50, and then there's a 1618 Fibonacci level here at $39, $39.32. Those are some ideas here as to like where you could take some profit if this thing continues being bullish. Looks like you had a good earnings report too that came out recently. Earnings was expected at 20 cents per share. You actually came in at 24 cents per share, an upside of about 19%. And revenue came in at 1.08, and yeah, that was what they were expecting, is 1.08. So that's a decent earnings report, enough for those bids to start coming in, right? And that earnings report came out in November. So yeah, it's almost been like a couple of months here. And sure enough, you are now trying to threaten to go back up to higher prices here. Let's see what the VRVP has to say for things here. There is a value area high now at 25 bucks. It's an idea. If we were to pull back, I would expect that act as support. But we might actually get support before that, because there is a high volume node here at $27 here. So if you're looking to get some cheaper Billy, $27 is an idea. And then $25 is also another idea. And that's kind of like where the moving average is. The 21 EMA is sitting at 25 bucks, and the 100-day is sitting at 25 bucks. So I think 25, 27 bucks are your downside targets for now on Billy. And then, of course, I gave you the upside targets, right? You know, we'll see if we can get up to 32 bucks, 35, and then maybe 39 later on in 2026 here. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, are we going to continue going up or continue going, or actually go down here? Let's look at the momentum indicators here. MACD is showing buying pressure is good, and it's increasing. So that's saying that we could go to higher prices there. And then market cipher B, money flow is in the green, and it looks like it's actually trending upwards along with the momentum. So you might actually see all-time highs, or, you know, whatever highs we had at like 32 bucks. You might see 32, 35, or maybe 39. Because things are looking good here on the momentum for Billy. I like it. I wish crypto would look like this, but it's not. But that's a good stock pick there from Kitty Kush, in my opinion here. This thing looks like it wants to go up, not down, which is a great way to make money, is when things go up rather than down. I mean, you could make money with things going down. You just have to short it and look for, yeah, basically shorts in that case here. But Not everybody knows how to short. Not everybody's comfortable with shorting. But if you're comfortable with buying low and selling high, I think this thing has hit the lows. And now it's ready to go to higher prices here. All right. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Billy is a Chinese YouTube company. Oh, I did not know that. I can usually find out the description here on TradingView if I scroll down on the right here, you know, over like where the price is at. If you scroll all the way down, it tells you the description of the stock that you're looking at here. And it says Billy is a holding company which engages in the provision of online entertainment content. The firm enables broad video-based content consumption scenarios centered around... I don't know what that's all about. Ah, what the hell? TikTok, what are you doing? All right, TikTok wants to make sure I'm still alive here. So I got to do the stupid little puzzle thing. Yeah, I'm still here, TikTok. All right, but anyways, back to this. Yeah, so it does look like it's a Chinese YouTube company. That's interesting. So they got their own version of YouTube in China. It looks like it was founded in June of 2009 and is headquartered in Shanghai, China. That's the cool information, the information that you get here off of TradingView.com. All right, let's see what... Hey, where is my chat bubble here for TikTok? Oh, thank you, Porsche, for liking the live here. We got like 6,500 likes here on TikTok. Let's see if we get up to 8,000 likes here. And we got a few people still watching here on TikTok. Okay. Porsche says, can I take a look at GRT and tell you what I think? You think it's a good crypto project? From what I know, that GRT is related to like AI cryptocurrency space, right? And then Greg Ski is asking me to look at Epic chart. So we got some requests that came in here. So we'll look at Epic first and then GRT. And let me see if anything else came in. Right. Tariq says, please no shit coins to look at. Oh, we got another request here for Pepe. Is that a request for Pepe coin? Sell. Are you still in the chat here? I don't know what this is saying here, but it looks like you're asking for Pepe. Just if you're still in the chat, let me know if you're there, and then I will look at Pepe if that's what you want me to look at. All right. We got D2 Miami asking for ZBCN. So let me go write that down as well. All right. So we got ZBCN. So we'll look at Epic first, then GRT, then ZBCN. All right, Epic. And I believe that's the Epic cryptocurrency, correct? If it's a stock, let me know. But I think what you want is the Epic cryptocurrency here. Oh, here we go. MEXC exchange. That should be a good one. All right, so we're looking at Epic right now. Currently trading at 66 cents. Down 3.31% today. I'm going to leave the VRVP indicator on. It's going to give us the levels to look for prices to look for. The highest volume node where the majority of people bought and sold this cryptocurrency at is sitting right here at this blue line at 71 cents. So you're slightly below it. That's unfortunate because that should have acted as support because you were above it the last few days here. So you're losing your support on the POC here. And if you were to continue losing support and going down to low prices here, it looks like you could come down to this high volume node here at 60 cents. So there might be another 10% drop in Epic before it starts catching some bids here. Okay. I would look for 60 cents for now. There is some more support below us at the value area low at 47 cents, but I think in the near future, 60 cents should hold that support. If not, then yeah, we could come down to 47 cents. But yeah, this is not good. You're losing the POC, you lost the 21 EMA, and you lost the 58. Well, so you actually got rejected by this green line here. This is the 50-day moving average. You try to get above it the last few days here. A little bit weak. And then the bears took over and they sent this thing down to lower prices. You lost like 50% on Thursday. Yikes. Okay, so yeah. You lost 50%, but you're near support. Don't go any lower than where you're going right now. And I think, yeah, you got to climb your way back up to 71 cents. And then you got to climb your way back up to at least this 50-day moving average, which is sitting at 79 cents. Those are your near-term day trading or swing trade targets here. And then if you're in this for the long term, if you can get past this 50-day moving average at 79 cents, then I think you're looking for 96 cents here as your target to the upside. Okay? And that's a target that I would say you should probably click the sell button, because you got some people here that want to click the sell button because they bought this thing thinking they were buying the dip here in October, only for this thing to keep on dipping on them. So I think, yeah, 98 cents. What did I say? Did I say 98 cents? What was the value high? Yeah, anywhere between like 90 cents to $1 should be your ultimate swing trade target on Epic Chain. Let me just come back to the chat because I don't want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Porsche says why whiff looking good as well. Dog, is he talking about dog with hat? And Gressy says you entered at 86 cents, going to lower your cost average. Okay. And then Porsche is talking about RSR looks good. I mean, are those requests, Porsche? We got to look at a couple of more here. We got to look at GRT and ZBCM, but let me know if those are some requests there. H is asking about Solana. Let me go ahead and write that down. We got to look at Solana. That'll be after we look at ZBCN. Alrighty. Thank you guys for smashing that like button. Let's see if we can get up to 8,000 likes here. We got 6,800 here on TikTok. All you got to do is double tap your screen to smash that like button. Appreciate that. All right. Moving on from Epic, we'll take a look at the GRT. GRT, USD. All right, let me get rid of some of this previous chart work here. So looks like it's no longer applicable. GRT currently trading at 4 cents, up 4.9% today. Getting a good week in January, just like we've seen a lot of other cryptocurrencies here. But will it continue? Will we continue to see higher prices here? Well, if we don't see higher prices, to the downside, we got the 21 EMA at 0.038 pennies. Just below us slightly. And then you got the POC at 0.037 pennies. So I think 3.7 and 3.8 is where you want to try to put some buy orders in if you want to buy some more graph here. If we don't hold that for support, though, there is a value area low sitting at 0.034 pennies here. So 34 could be another area where we could try to buy some cheaper graph here. To the upside, if we are going to continue going up to higher prices, you got some high volume here, a little bit of high volume at 4.5 pennies. Then you got some more high volume here at 5 pennies. And we got the 50-day moving average sitting at almost 5.5 pennies. But I think by the time price climbs up, this thing is going to be coming on down, and you might get knocked down as soon as you hit 5 cents. I think 5 cents is like X marks the spot here, right, for graph. So, don't get too greedy. I would take a little bit of profit at 5 cents. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do if I owned this asset here. And are we going to continue going up? Let's see what the Marcus IVB is showing here with the money flow. Money flow is in the green. That's good to see here. And you had a green buy dot here on January 1st. So I think it could continue to go up to higher prices. At least that's what Marcus IVB is showing. And then here on the MACD, buying pressure in the green. Buying pressure started dying down a little bit, but then you started increasing today. So maybe this thing is not done going up yet. And like I said, when could it be done going up? I think you got 4.5 cents and then 5 cents to look for. Those are some good targets to be targeting graph to the upside. All right, moving on from that, we got to look at ZBCN and then Solana. I'm a little bit curious about Solana because I own Solana spot bags, but I'm trying to get rid of them at higher prices if I can. So we're looking at now at ZBCN currently trading at 3,017. We'll call it. We'll call it 30,000. 30,174. Okay, less than a half a penny, right? 0.0030 pennies to be exact. Okay, and I'm gonna use the VRVB indicator because it's a very useful indicator. Shows you what to look for price levels here. To the upside, we have a high volume node here at 31,600, which is kind of confluent with this 50-day moving average at 32,600. So I think that's for day traders out there who are day trading ZBCN, you should be trying to take profit at 32,000 for now. It's like I think like an 8% move up in price from where we are right now. Yeah, about 7%. But if you're able to throw on some leverage on that, like 10x leverage will get you like 70%. So it could be decent. But if you're in it for longer than just a day trade, there is some targets to look for the upside. We got the 100-day and the 200-day sitting at like 35,000 and 36,000. And that should be about like 20% increase from where we are right now. And then you got the value area high sitting at 38,000. I would definitely click the sell button on ZBCN when it gets to 38,000. Basically almost a half a penny. It'd be like 0.004 pennies. Somewhere around that area. That's where I would take some profit for sure on this asset. Because you just don't know. And getting up to 2-day moving average, likely going to get rejected initially before you're able to punch past it. So I actually would be targeting the 200-day moving average. I'd be targeting 36,000. Even though there's some other areas to be targeting here, I'd be definitely targeting 36,000 to get out of ZBCN and take some profit. Now, ZBCN is not able to actually go up to higher prices. If we do come down to lower prices, you got the POC that could act as support at 29,300 initially. But if that doesn't act as support, then you got the some other high volume nodes here at like 27,000. That's actually where this 21 EMA is sitting at. So I would try to scoop up some cheaper ZBCN at 27,000 if you're able to do so. That's about a 10% drop from where we are right now. And let's see, looking at momentum here. Do we got the momentum to go higher or lower? Well, the buying pressure was starting to die down here on the MACD, but then it started increasing today. So that's interesting. Maybe ZBCN does want to go higher in price. And then here, we got on Marcus IVB, you got a green buy dot here on January 1st. That's good to see. Money flows in the green. I wouldn't start worrying about ZBCN going to lower prices until you see a red sell dot show up. You haven't had a red sell dot since December 25th on Christmas Day. So I think you could stay in this thing, hold on to it to see if it does go to higher prices here. That's what I'm getting at a ZBCN for now. All right, moving on from ZBCN, we're going to take a look at our old pal Solana. Is Solana going to go up to higher prices? Because some of these other cryptocurrencies are showing that they could. I actually want to go right to the momentum on Solana. Oh, man, no, don't do that, Solana. A red sell dot just came in today. on the daily time frame saying that we should be selling our Solana. Oh no, I wanted to go higher prices though. I was looking for like 150, 160 bucks. But right now we're at 135 bucks, and this thing is telling us we should consider selling Solana. Now this could get erased, right? Or we could see a green buy dot show up tomorrow if Solana starts increasing in price, but it needs to start doing that now, sooner rather than later. Okay, because if not, then we'll see the momentum come down, we'll see money flow come down, and then we'll see prices come down. Okay, let's see what the MACD is showing. MACD on Solana is showing that buying pressure is dying down, so that's not good. Okay, I can tell you right now, I actually got a stop loss on my Solana at $129. Why $129? Because here on the daily time frame, I saw that Solana had a candlewick low here on Saturday at $129.54, and I just put my stop loss right below that. If Solana does go down here, I don't want to find out how bad it gets for Solana. I do not want to see Solana go down below 120 bucks or lower. I'm okay with selling at 129, even though I could have probably sold it at 140 or 143 earlier this week. You know, you got to have a little bit of breathing room on your stop loss, because if we do come down and not actually hit my stop loss, then we could actually come back up, and maybe Solana hits this 50-day moving average above its head at 156 bucks, that green line right there. Or maybe Solana actually comes up to the 200-day moving average at 172 bucks. I'm going to be looking for higher lows and higher highs, because if Solana does something like this, where, you know, if we only and we make a higher low here and start creeping up to that 50-day moving average, maybe top out, maybe go back down here, I can move my stop loss to like wherever the higher low is around here. And then, you know, if Solana does come down, doesn't actually, you know, come all the way down here, but if Solana actually you know, makes another higher low, comes back up, gets up to that 200-day moving average, and yeah, I should probably sell at the 200-day moving average at 170 bucks. Because I just don't know if Solana's actually going to get bullish and actually go above that 200-day moving average. We lost that 200-day moving average November 3rd. And since then, it's been adios, sayonara, buddy, down to lower prices here. And I did sell the majority of my Solana, you know, even before this nasty red candle here. You know, I was selling most of my Solana at like 230 bucks and 200 bucks here. But yeah, of course, when I saw Solana get this nasty red candle and lose that 200-day moving average, I was selling some more Solana at 160 bucks here in November. And thank God I did, because, you know, look how brutal it got, where Solana got down to like $116 here. So now we're trying to climb and redeem ourselves, but it's going to be tough. We got some resistance here. We got the 50-day that could act as resistance, and we got the 200-day that could act as resistance one more time here. But right now, Solana, right? Solana's just having a tough time getting up to the 50-day moving average. And we got that red sell dot, and we got buying pressure dying down on Solana. So that'd be very unfortunate if I get stopped out. But I'm trying to protect myself because, you know, how much lower could Solana go? Let's zoom out some more. You know, we did see Solana go down to like $95 in April of last year. I don't want to see Solana go that low and actually hold on to it, right? If we came down to that $95 level there, that's about a 30% drop. I do not want to lose 30% more of my money in Solana. So that's why I got my stop loss right now at 129 bucks. Let me just zoom back in here. You know, 129 bucks seems pretty reasonable. I think it's got enough room to breathe here, but, you know, if we're going to suffocate and go to low prices, I don't want to go lower than $129. I do not want to hold on to Solana lower than 129. That's just me. This is my personal holdings. You can do whatever you want. Maybe you want to put your stop loss on Solana at a more conservative target. Maybe you want to, you know, make it a little bit looser. The last low before that, I think, was like around like 119 bucks. And then there's like 116.82 on December 18th. You could put your stop loss there, but if you were to do that, you know, taking it all the way down to 116 bucks, you're risking about like 13, 14% on the drop here. With me, I'm only risking about 4% for my stop loss at 129 bucks because I was already ready to sell. And if this thing is just going to continue dropping down, then I'm okay with selling at 129 bucks. And maybe if I wanted to, I could buy at 100 bucks or 110 bucks. But I'm more concerned about capital preservation right now with Solana, because I did buy Solana at 13, 16 bucks in 2022, right after FTX went bankrupt. I bought some more at like 20 bucks. The last major purchase was at like $33 on October 2023, is what I can tell you. So I've already made money on Solana. Thank you, Solana. You've been really good to me in this cycle. And I gotta make sure it stays good by actually selling it, you know, at $129 if it's gonna drop down and hit my stop loss. I'll still 6x my money from where, you know, I bought it at 20 bucks, selling it at 129. That's a 6x. See, Ava Medina's in the chat. Good to see you. He says, "Sup, Damien? Sup, chat?" Good to see you, Ava Medina. How was the vertical format here, Ava Medina? I know you're one of my big supporters and fans here, but I don't do this all the time. I'm only doing this because I want to do a horizontal live stream with TikTok. I got TikTok Studio going on right now, so TikTok has the horizontal format for today. And yeah, this is what I look like. I don't know if you can see me. Yeah, there you go. So you can still see me. There's my little camera, the window on the camera, and then there's the chat, and then there's chat over here. Oh, where is chat? Did I not put the chat bubble there? But you can see, like, this is the guys here on TikTok. Pretty cool, huh? I'm doing 2 live streams at the same time here, or 2 different platforms. Let's see what the TikTok guys have to say here. Let me just zoom out a little bit. We got somebody here that says more blood in the streets is coming. 40% dump. So I assume you're pretty bearish, and I'm assuming you're bearish on crypto. Pablito says, "What indicators am I using?" I use a bunch of indicators. I try to like not make it too messy on the charts here, but I do got the VRVP indicator that I use a lot. One of my favorite indicators. Gives me where the price levels to look for. Then I use the MACD for momentum, and I use Market Cipher B for momentum. I also got an RSI indicator that I use, but I usually use that when I'm looking for like divergence, like bullish and bearish divergence. But yeah. Yeah. Those are the indicators I use. And I got videos on my TikTok, since I see you're on TikTok here. If you go on to the Meet Damien TikTok page, pinned to the top of the page here is the VRVP indicator video, and then also the Fibonacci. Fibonacci is not really an indicator. It's more like a tool. But I got a video on how to set it up and how I trade with it. And that's pinned to the top. And then for those who are new to trading but want to learn more about technical analysis, I do got a video talking about how to read a candlestick chart here, and how to read the RSI, the MACD, and the stochastic RSI. And that video is also pinned here with 718 views here on TikTok. Alrighty, okay. Those are some good tutorial videos to learn more about trading and investing and technical analysis here. Do I use Elliott Wave? No, I don't. I'm familiar with it. There's some things that I don't use. I mean, you guys, you can do there's so many indicators and so many tools out there to use, like Elliott Wave and Bollinger Bands, and even the Gaussian channel, but I don't use all those indicators because I became really good and familiar with the ones that I'm using. And you know, if you keep adding so many indicators to your chart's gonna get really messy, and you're not gonna know what to do because you're gonna be paralyzed by analysis by paralysis. Like it's gonna be too much to analyze, and you're not gonna know what to do next with all those indicators telling you one thing and then one thing counteracting another. It ends up being too much. You gotta find out what works for you and then stick with it. For me, obviously moving averages. I use moving averages. I use MACD. I use the market cipher B. That's good enough. And then also I got the stochastic RSI. I'm sorry, not the regular RSI. Let me just move this chat bubble here. But I use the RSI, market cipher B, MACD for the most part. Okay. Then I got the VRVP indicator here. And if I ever need to use the Fibonacci, I can do that too, right? Where I can measure, you know, from swing high to swing low and get Fibonacci going on here. But yeah, those are the ones that I normally stick to. So I don't, to answer your question, no to Elliott theory and no to Bollinger Bands and Gaussian channel. I don't do it all because I don't feel like you don't really need to have all that. Some of these things they actually agree with each other. So, you know, you could be a moving average guy or you could be a Fibonacci guy, and they might still show you the same levels. And then you could be a VRVP guy and still see the same levels to be looking for. Mark asking me, have I done Ethereum yet? No, I haven't. We could do that and then finish off on Bitcoin. You say that you work with a lucrative crypto trading platform, so you make nothing less than 150. I don't know why you're letting us all know that, but okay. That's cool. What else? What else I miss? Beers always come out on red days. Weasel out on the green days. Mark is funny. Yeah, you might be right about that. I did say earlier in the live stream that Bitcoin does still look like it's going to go to higher prices on the larger time frames here, but it's just like on the daily time frame and smaller time frames, it looks questionable for us to go to higher prices. So we're going to finish off on Bitcoin before I'm done with this live stream. I got probably maybe 15 more minutes out of me. You guys got out of me, and then yeah, and then that's going to be it for today. We'll go live again Monday at 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Is when I normally go live. That's the time slot that you can find me at. But yeah, let's look at Ethereum and then we'll look at Bitcoin. I'm actually in some Bitcoin and Ethereum longs right now. I trade on WEEX exchange. Let me give a shout out to WEEX. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, so I got into Bitcoin long before the live stream started here on WEEX. Got in at 90,268. Bitcoin's slightly above that. So we'll see. You know, my stop loss is at 89,950. My take profit's at 93K. So we'll see. Oh, wait, it just updated the price. We're at $90,500 here on Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm up like 13 bucks, 13% on this Bitcoin long. That's cool. If you guys want to trade on WEEX exchange, I do have the link on TikTok in my bio. It's right there for you to click on, and you got that VIP code, the XVDP code here. Very, very important if you want to get the promotions that I got. And if you guys are going to join WEEX exchange here, there are some promotions that you can get. Up to like $30,000 in bonuses here, okay? And you can see that I've already taken advantage of some of these bonuses here, where, you know, I put like $3,000 on the exchange, hold it for 3 days, and they gave me a $2,000 position airdrop. Basically what they did was they gave me like $100 of margin with 20x leverage on Ethereum, and I could choose whether I wanted to long or short it, and I decided to long Ethereum. All right, so they gave me basically free money to trade with, and I get to keep the profits. So that's cool. Okay. You can do that here with WEEX, and then also I believe WEEX is doing a promotion where You put $100 on the exchange and you'll get $50 back. Okay, they're really aggressive on trying to get some new customers on their exchange here. So take advantage of that here on TikTok, right? And then also YouTube, guys, you can also take advantage of that by clicking on, well, you click on the link here for my TikTok guys, but for my YouTube guys, the description, the link is in the description to my channel here, where you can click on that link and get started with WEEX exchange here, okay? And why not? It's very simple to join. They don't require a VPN. They don't do KYC. All you need is an email to get started, and you can start trading on WEEX exchange and take advantage of those free bonuses, free money to trade with. Well, first you got to put money on it, but you know, you can start trading for free, and then you can start using your own money to trade. All right. So, anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get back to looking at Ethereum, because I also am in an Ethereum long here. Let's see, Ethereum's going to do well here or not. I want to see what the momentum's looking like for Ethereum. Let's look at the MACD. Buying pressure dying down. So I see a lot of these high market cryptos. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, their buying pressure is dying down. We need buying pressure to start increasing again, or else we're going to see lower prices this week and going into next week, and it's not going to be good for my Ethereum long and for a lot of people that own Ethereum, okay? Buying pressure was steadily increasing the first week of January and the last week of December here. But this is no bueno. This is cause for concern here. And then here on Market Cipher B, you had a red sold dot that came in on Wednesday. Momentum's going down. So money is just not going into Ethereum right now as strong as it was last week and the week before that. So no bueno on Ethereum for higher prices, unfortunately. Maybe I should flip my long into a short on Ethereum. If Ethereum does come down to lower prices, we got the 21 EMA at 3,030. Could provide temporary support for now. If that doesn't hold, you know, we do got some higher lows that we formed here. But let's look at the VRVP indicator to figure out what the actual levels we want to be paying attention to. And the actual level that we want to pay attention to is this POC at 2970. That's where the majority of people that bought Ethereum over the last few months here, since November and October, okay? A good majority of them got in at 2960. So they're actually in profit right now. They're not going to be sweating bullets until we actually lose 2960, 2970. And then we could come down to the value area low sitting at 2869. Those are your downside targets for Ethereum, okay? So 2869, 2970 or 60, and then 3035. Those are your downside targets for Ethereum. Now, if Ethereum starts getting its butt in the gear and starts going up to higher prices here, a little bit of high volume here at 3,117. Believe it or not, push past that, the volume starts to drop off, and then there's a little bit of volume here at 3,300. But really, the value area high is probably what you're looking for a swing trade or basically a swing trade or whatever long-term investment here. You're gonna try to see if you can get out of Ethereum at $3,400 because that's where the value area high is sitting at roughly, and then also you got the 50-day moving average at $3,400. So on my Ethereum long, which is a long-term long that I would like to stay in, I am trying to target $3,400. If I want to stay in longer, then the high side target could possibly be the 200-day moving average at $3,600. I'm not sure if we're going to get up there. It would be nice because if we did, then you start making a case that you're making higher highs compared to what you did here in December when we saw 34.77 as the highest price for Ethereum. So if you get up to like $3,600, I would start to be more bullish and optimistic on Ethereum and crypto. But it's got to be more than just getting up there, because you could get up there and get rejected. And I don't want to see that, because if you get up there and get rejected, then that means, we're going to go down to lower prices and probably see a bear market. But yeah, I wouldn't really get too bearish just yet on Ethereum until we start losing some of these levels below us. I would say, lose the $3,000 psychological target. And I think a lot of people start to become defeated thinking that Ethereum is not going to go to higher prices. So I would say don't lose 3,000 for Ethereum. Oh man, I didn't. Excuse me. Hopefully my YouTube guys are able to see that. Excuse me. Alvin Medina says he likes the fibs, the trend lines, market cipher B, and RSI. Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you. Those are some of my favorites. I think that's why you continue watching my channel here. Alvin Medina, are you interested in becoming a moderator on my YouTube channel? Because I see you showing up every now and then. I can make you a moderator if you're interested in doing that. Just let me know. And, you know, I'll probably be able to do that in the next live stream. I'm not sure if I'm able to do that. Make you a moderator while I'm on my phone right now. Let's see. Can I? Oh, I could. Just let me know if you want to, and I could add you as a moderator here. All right, I'll do that. I'm going to add you as a moderator here. All right, there you go. I just made you a moderator there. Ava Medina, there you go. All right, and then I'm going to try to finish off on Bitcoin, and that's going to be it for today. Let me just double check the chat one more time here on TikTok. Oh, Ava Medina's on TikTok as well. Okay, appreciate it. Let's see. Mark says he's on a Solana and Ethereum long. Someone here says they use Kraken and has tax tracker. You guys are talking about taxes now? Ugh. And then, all right, cool. Let's back to it. We're going to finish off here on Bitcoin. That's going to be it for this live stream here, guys. So, we'll start with the small time frames because I am in a day trade. I want to see, is there any possibility and hope for Bitcoin to go higher? Or is it going to continue going lower? And should I just switch into a short on Bitcoin? Well, I got the VRVP indicator here, which has levels to look out for. Right now, I already marked off the levels. $90,500 is an important level that we're kind of already hanging out at here on Bitcoin. If you get past that, then, you know, 91,400 has been the tough level to get past this entire week. Let's see. We actually came up to 91,900 this morning, and it was looking bullish, but then we lost it. So we got rejected off of the 50-day moving 50 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Unfortunately. Okay. Because we're in kind of like a trading range, I would say, between like 89K to like 92K, I would still be looking for longs. But that's just eyeballing price action right now. Let's look at the momentum. Is the momentum going to send us to higher prices here? On the 1 hour time frame, MACD, we got selling pressure. Looks like it's trying to die down. Maybe we might see higher prices. Maybe in the next hour or two for Bitcoin. Okay. But it's like kind of wishy-washy action where we got a MACD crossover to the downside, MACD crossover to the upside, MACD crossover to the downside. If we see selling pressure die off and buying pressure increase again, we're going to get another MACD crossover to the upside. Just being frustrating as hell on the 1 hour time frame here. Okay, so 1 hour time frame, MACD so-so. Market cipher B, you got a green buy dot that showed up this hour at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. This could be possibly a higher low compared to that, which is also a higher low compared to that. So maybe we see higher prices later on tonight. And if we do that, I think that'll get people excited to buy some Bitcoin and crypto this weekend so we can see higher prices for crypto all around. All right. But this is okay, kind of promising on the 1 hour time frame. All right, smaller time frames. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame is showing. Usually I like to look at the 15-minute time frame to find out what's going to happen in the next couple hours. Okay, on the MACD, MACD crossover to the upside and some green buying pressure. So yeah, maybe Bitcoin is going to go higher in the next hour or two, leading up to the close for the day. I believe Bitcoin is going to be closing in the next hour, the daily candle for Friday. So this is great to see on the 50-minute time frame. Continue doing this, you'll see some more green buying pressure candles and higher prices for Bitcoin in the short term. Also on the 50-minute time frame, money flow increasing, finally going into the green. Looks like that happened about 30 minutes ago, and you get a green buy dot. That's good to see. All right. Please don't play around with us and get a red sell dot and start money flow going down. Okay, but momentum is looking like okay and good in the short term here for Bitcoin to go to higher prices. So I think I can stay in my long. I believe my stop loss is at 89,950. So like below this candle wick right here on earlier today. I went long on Bitcoin before I started the live stream. So I went long like 2 hours ago when Bitcoin was at like 90,200, and I put my stop loss at like 89,950 just to give you, if you guys want to copy the trade here. And I'm targeting 93K. I'm not sure if we actually can get up to 93K. I would like to take some partial profit at 91,400 here, because that's been a tough area for us to get past this whole week here, this whole trading week. We've been having a tough time around 91,400. But just zooming out here, if we get past 91,400, I am targeting 93K, because I just don't know if we're actually going to get up to 94K. I would love to see 94K again. But we're in this downtrend so far. And we're trying to get out of the downtrend here on Bitcoin, at least on the smaller time frames here. Now going into the bigger picture time frame, daily time frame here on Bitcoin, and then we'll look at the 5-day and the weekly. Okay, daily time frame, Bitcoin got his bounce off the 21 EMA here yesterday at 89,166. We came down to 89,200, and on the daily time frame, I mean on that, yeah, 89,200 showed up a lot on the moving averages here. If you go into like not only the daily time frame but also like the 12-hour time frame, you had the 50 moving average there. The 4-hour time frame, you had the 200 moving average there, and then even the 2-hour time frame, you had the 200 moving average at that time, at that level. So I think people paid attention to that, especially the moving average guys, and they defended Bitcoin at 89,200. So I actually have another bid in on Bitcoin. I'm gonna try to long Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops below 89,900, I'm gonna try one more time at 89,400 or 300. See if I can front run that higher low here. If we do make another higher low at 89,400, I kind of want to take advantage of that. And maybe that's where Bitcoin could get some steady price action to the upside after it does a drop like that. I mean, I don't want to drop right now because I'm already in a long, but if it does go down lower, I will try to re-enter the long at 89,400 is where I'm trying to enter. If I have to make adjustments, that's what I'm looking for. But on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, this is the concerning thing for Bitcoin. You got the buying pressure is dying down on the MACD. That's no bueno. I want to see buying pressure start increasing again, okay? Kind of like you did here on, this is the 2-hour. Let me go into daytime. I wasn't in the daily time frame. Daily time frame, this is what buying pressure looks like. So buying pressure is dying down. I want to see buying pressure increase, not decrease. This is not good, okay? That's what I'm a little bit worried about Bitcoin on the daily time frame here. And in market cipher B, we did get a red sell dot here on Wednesday. And momentum's going down, and money flow looks like it might want to start going down. So that's conflicting here. Okay, that's a little bit worrisome. I'm worried about that. But then if I move on to the 3-day, okay, the 3-day MACD buying pressure is increasing still. And we already had the MACD crossover here towards the end of December. And then money flow is actually going up, trending upward here. So this is why like the long time frames say that Bitcoin's not done going up yet. We could still see Bitcoin going up some more. And then on the 5-day time frame, selling pressure is decreasing. And we're about to get, looks like almost a MACD crossover to the upside. That'd be great to see because we'll definitely see some higher prices here. And then on the weekly time frame, selling pressure is dying down here on Bitcoin. So the high time frames are saying that Bitcoin has an opportunity to go to higher prices here. The daily time frame says not so fast, and then the smaller time frames say, you know, we could see Bitcoin go up later on tonight. So the daily time frame is the only thing that's like kind of messing things up right now. But higher time frames saying we could go up, smaller time frame we can go up, daily time frame saying not so fast. So I think if we do go up to higher prices here later on tonight, going to tomorrow morning, the daily time frame will show buying pressure again, and it will agree with the other averages, the other time frames as well. But we shall see. And that's why I think, you know, we have a very important weekend here for Bitcoin where we got to see higher prices, or else, you know, this might have been it. You know, this could have been a lower high here at 94,800 for Bitcoin. And the bears might be right about this being a bear flag. And then, of course, you know, then we got some moving averages to look out below on the weekly time frame. And we got some volume to look for on the VRVP indicator here, where, you know, if Bitcoin starts losing 80K and 70K, there is a POC at 67K. And then some high volume here at 57K. So if the bear market bros, if we are in a bear market, if the bear market bros are right, we could see 67K or 57K in the months to come here. But that's months away. We take it day by day here. That's why you got to come on to these live streams to kind of figure out where the price might go next. Looking at all these indicators that I look at for you guys here, and hopefully you guys are able to learn how to use these indicators so you can start doing it yourselves. All right. But yeah, if for now, you can just come on this live stream. You'll see me at 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be here again on Monday. I take the weekends off. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time for another live stream where we take a look at your cryptocurrencies, but we also took a look at some stocks as well for the stock market guys, stock market bros. And look forward to it. You know, pray for Bitcoin. Keep your fingers crossed this weekend for higher prices because we need it. Because if we don't, then the case starts to be made that, you know, we're making lower highs again on Bitcoin. And we got to go down to lower prices to generate more demand. All right, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Take care. And good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys. We'll just finish off with this outro song, and then that'll be it for today, guys. Thank you, Ava Medina, for putting in that link to subscribe to the Meet Damien channel. And thumbs up to you, D2 Miami. And a salute to you, Mark. Ava Medina is doing a long on Bitcoin. Okay. My stop loss is at 89,950. And I'll try to take some profit at 91,493K. Depending upon how vigorous we go up, maybe I can get it at a little bit at 94K for take profit. And thank you, Lorene, if you're still in the chat, for sending me the heart me, the Go Popular, and thank you, Mario, for the heart me as well. Adios, guys.